Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam L, and this is Talk with the Titans. On tonight's show, we have two Titans in store for you. We've got the Arm&Ra squad in the building, Arm&Ra squad up. And they're going to be going through some information for us today. They're going to be rebutting Nasi Yashuv-El's claims. We're going to be going into the drag queen, giving you a thorough analysis of the drag queen and his quotes within there. We're also going to be talking about the Madjai, the handbook to the conscious community. But before that time, if you're not subscribed right now, please hit the subscribe button and subscribe with us to be in tune with future shows. On the future shows next week, on the 28th of January, we have Shaka Atmos in the studios, passing through the Codex King himself. So if you want to be in the studios, or if you want to be able to see Shaka Atmos live and be part of our panelists, please also join the Facebook group, and we'll try to get you in as well. Also, we have in February month, we have Dr. Ma'at going in. We've also got live coverage of the February the 8th debate, Kemet on trial, Hebrew Israelites versus Kemet. So subscribe if you want to be up to date with all the information. We've also got ISUPK coming into the studios. Actually, we've got a host of people coming into the studios during February month. We've got scholars from Africa, from the continent of Africa, coming in as well to give us some presentations. We've also got some professors and doctorates. My own professors and my own doctorates of my university shall be passing through. They want to support. So without further ado, I've just gone on for a little while. So without further ado, I'm actually going to invite and welcome our Titan today. We have the Madjai, arrows up, brother Jonathan Owens in the studio. Peace.
Hold up. How you doing, Kalam? Everybody on the panel, how is it?
All right, we're all great. I'm loving this. I know we've got Ankh as well that'll be passing through as well. He's ready. He's roaring to go. How did you like the trailer anyway? How did you like the trailer?
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Real appropriate, you know what I'm saying? Being a defense force, the Madjai, on all aspects, on all fronts. We coming forward as just like the traditional Madjai. So I appreciate it.
Wow, it was much needed after, I see, after last week, Nasi was going wild with certain claims, trying to tear down our brother Reggie, trying to get the, Sarah Sue and Seti upset as well. So it was only fitting that the Redskin Egyptians had to call in the Madjai to really fight off the insidious attacks off the Hebrews, the Asiatics.
Yeah, well, that was your January 14th show, correct?
That's correct.
And I keep saying someone could get a buck of simply noting what's going on at these moments in times of history, because on that same night, January 14th, is when I was forced, since he was trying to dismantle it preemptively in anticipation of the video I put out, he was attempting to dismantle it by standing behind Paul Roberts' work. And all is fair, you're allowed, so you know what I'm saying. When it comes down to Paul Roberts' personal life, that really would not mean much if he was bringing forth sound scholarship. I would not be able to even throw an ad hominem out there. But it all lines up. When you see one rock, turn over the next one, and you're going to find out, not only is he illiterate at Medu Necher, okay, he also promulgates the lifestyle that he's forecast upon the ancient literature. And so, I don't know.
Woo. So there's a bit of, shaky scholarship going on, and we love seeing those videos that he was unearthing. Actually, furthermore, I think we should actually play that video. For everybody out there who hasn't had a chance to see that particular video. But before I actually do that, I know we've got a lot of people tuning in right now. I'm just watching the count go up and up and up and up. For everybody who's tuning in and you're fresh to Talk with the Titans, let's give you a little background information. Talk with the Titans was birthed out of the idea that the intellectual giants of the community, the titans of the community, should have a well-organized platform to present, discuss, and debate critical information affecting our community, proposed by you, our audience, our community members. So, and that being said, our shows are usually sectioned off into 3 parts. We have the first section of the show. We have our Titans giving us a presentation of anything of their choice, whatever they want to present on. The platform is open for them to present on. And then after that, we have a discussion. So we open up to our panelist members, we open up to the audience in YouTube land, on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever you may be, in Google Plus as well. Wherever you may be, you can just type in your questions. You could send in your questions, leave your comments down below, and we will try to air them out live right now for you. That's at the second section of the show. After that, we have a third section of the show, which we usually air offline. It's usually offline. We don't have it out in the public, where the members who are right here in the panel are able to actually ask the Titan any questions they like, have a back and forth, have miniature round style debates with them. So that's how our show operates. So if you don't know, please tune in and subscribe and keep up to date with all of the relevant information that we're putting out. But before that time, let's actually introduce the panel members. We have a few panel members in the studio today. There was a few surprise guests that will be coming in the studio like we did last week, which they didn't stay around for too long. On air, but off air they came back in again. But yeah, so stay subscribed. We're gonna actually invite our panelist members in right about now. So we have from the UK our brother Isa Al-Arsh, representing Quranic Islam of the Quran. So welcome, brother Isa. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, family.
How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well, brother. Just looking forward to what the brother, the Madjai brother, has to say today. I want to hear exactly.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Okay, and we also have from the Hebrew, representing the Hebrew perspective in the studio, we have our brother Alvin from Chicago. So how are you doing, Alvin?
Yo, what's going on? Ready to hear some of this information Jonathan got. You know what I'm saying?
Strong. So, if you're out there in YouTube land and you actually want to be a panelist, please just join the Facebook group. Keep up to date. As long as you're very vocal within the Facebook group, we'll make sure that we, you have, well, we actually send out the links in the Facebook group. So if you want to be the first one in to have a chance to be inside the panel and talking with our Titan, just join the Facebook group that is Talk with the Titans. That's Talk with the Titans, and you can be up here talking with our Titans. All right. So panelists, I know everybody in here has been regulars on the show already, so I don't really need to tell you what the rules. But the rules of the show is of 3. We got 3 rules of the show. The first rule is keep your mics muted at all times. At all times, keep your mics muted unless the space is being given or allotted to you. Secondly, to also keep your mics muted a second time when somebody else is speaking. When somebody else is speaking, respect their cipher and do not talk over them. The third rule is we do not allow any foul language. This is a family-friendly zone. This is a family-friendly zone. We have children watching in. If you don't know, literally everybody comes home from work. They put this up on the TV screens and they're watching this live in front of their family. So please, no foul language. All right, so what I'm going to ask you to do now is please respect our co-panelists, respect our audience, and please, last but not least and most foremost, respect yourselves. Okay, so all right, let's get this actually started. So Madjai, the Madjai himself. All right, we're gonna go into one of your videos. Which one should we go into? Because you have so many videos that are just quick. They're just firing shots everywhere. So which one should we go into?
Oh, maybe we should play the video that shows the source of these claims come by our good young brother Nasi Yashuv-El.
Okay. All right. The source of those claims. All right.
It's called Nasi. Nasi and the Drag Queen.
Nasi and the Drag Queen. Are you able to see my screen right by now?
Yes, sir. You should make the video go full screen, and it'll be wonderful.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna make it go full screen, and I'm gonna present this video to everybody so they can see. All right. And whilst we're doing that, we're just going to. We're up. We're ready to go. And now here we go.
Time to rock squad. Nasi Yashuv-El and the Drag Queen. Madjai. Oh, it's about to go down. What up? So I was watching that Fetty and Nasi debate, and I heard Nasi Yashuv-El lying on Kemet.
Reference to homosexuality is however, a very few, usually done so aggressive. In the quote text of 635, utilize the grade status associated with sodomy to assert the secret power over God until has no power over any against its backside. Likewise, in the spell 700 in the Nasi token death, the deceased again uses sodomy as a symbolism of power. It is balance between the monarch of the sun and the sun.
Turn that crap off. That pseudo shit had me high. I thought to myself, this Nasi Yashuv-El must have bad sources, or he is a complete liar. So you know me, I started to research his claims on Kemet. And oh my God, I was astounded. You see, what I found out was Nasi Yashuv-El was actually citing homosexual material. Yeah, Nasi Yashuv-El used the drag queen's work to teach the conscious community about Egyptian sexuality. Nazi scholarship, he cited Paul Roberts' homosexuality in Egypt. Well, here goes Paul Roberts right here. That's who Nasi Yashuv-El cited. Paul Roberts. Oh, you can prove it. Just read his Facebook. Go to academia.u and check up on who Nasi was using. Yeah, Nasi Yashuv-El quoted Paul Roberts and the award-winning drag queen. You see, it went from Paul Roberts to Nasi Yashuv-El to the conscious community. That's how that happened. And he can't read meta. Paul Roberts cannot read meta. He on his page asking what Ahamu means. It means Asiatics, Nazi. But there you go. So that's your source. An illiterate drag queen. And we supposed to trust you to put us on trial about how we teach? Boy square. You don't know he's coming against the Madjai. Now look, that was his source. Paul Roberts. Checkmate, homie.
Wow. So, is everybody still there? Is everybody with me right about now?
Kutep Salam, we're here, brother.
All right, so Nasi Yashuv-El was using was using what? The drag queen sources. So what does it actually mean? What does it actually mean?
Well, it doesn't mean a lot if we would find out that even, you know, that's something the guy's doing. But if we found out that he was doing good scholarship, I would not have been able to put out that video. But unfortunately for all parties opposing what I wish to present, I spent the last year going through all of his sources. So you're talking about the 30 sources he brought, but you must have not looked through all of the sources. So at the debate, we'll scrutinize these sources, and it has allowed me to get to the root of this misunderstanding. So to speak directly to what you asked, it means that the brother used the most homoerotic interpretations of the text that he could find in order to vilify his other brothers using, quote unquote, by his tradition, a sodomite. What we say, bringing a sodomite into the house of Israel. And I don't think that would be advisable for a teacher to do so, to bear witness by Paul Roberts. And so I would not, like I said, it would be unscholarly to vilify him about something, but this does pertain to the text. On the other hand, we have R.B. Parkinson, who is a scholar of the same persuasion as Roberts. But unbiasedly, he judges that all of these texts are not sexually deviant. They're totally procreative, and you know what I mean? And so basically, we have to be able to really identify biased scholarship, and we need to check our sources. This is a good example of what could happen to you if you're trying to debate and had not checked your sources. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. So brothers out there, when you're coming to this debate, when you're coming to any debate, be very mindful. Be very mindful and be very critical of the sources you use. If you enter any piece of scholarly information, one of the first things you need to actually provide is what? A literature review. When people don't know this, so this is a key term that I adjure you to please, everybody out there who wants to be part of debates and join future debates and give forward a dissertation or a thesis, please learn something about literature reviews and how to check whether a scholar is being biased or not, or interjecting something in a text which is not actually there. So that's a crucial point to actually bring up. And a lot of brothers on the panel was actually having a discussion a little bit earlier on about circumcision. So, brother, what is your take on circumcision? When did this practice actually take place?
Oh, well, like one of the brothers said earlier when the panel began, it took place possibly starting prehistoric times, because on one of the first pieces of actual written history, and I could drop bombs like this all day, but a lot of people have not noticed that the victims on the Norman pallet were circumcised. That was because you would have to be paying attention to detail in your research, and you possibly need a magnifying glass or a really large portrait to, you know what I'm saying, to see this. And even going back into times like that, we can, as we mentioned before, discuss the way we got our science of the anatomy. Nowadays, you go to biology class, one of the first things you're going to do is dissect a frog. Well, it's really just to learn about, you know what I'm saying, anatomy. You're not in the human anatomy yet, but maybe if you get into the higher realms of knowledge, you'll get to work on a cadaver. Well, these same things happened in prehistoric Egypt, but one of the most commonly dissected animals was the bull. So in studying the anatomy of the bull, we start to see a lot of the signs and symbols of the Medu Neter come to life. A lot of people think a lot of these symbols, a lot of the most sacred symbols in Medu Neter revolve around body parts of animals. If you look at the glyph of Nefer, they say that is the trachea and the windpipe of the trachea, windpipe, and maybe lungs of a bull or of an animal, but not of a human. Certain other glyphs that are, a lot of glyphs are body parts and as well as parts of animals. So when we start to talk about circumcision, in general, we can look at the anatomy of the bull, and we'll start to see how some of these spiritual practices develop. All one has to do is investigate the reproductive organs of the bull and learn about the penis retractor muscle. okay, which pulls back the prepuce on the bull. I hear some type of phone. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll mute that. Yeah, which the penis retractor muscle, which pulls back the the prepuce of the bull, and observing the bull's anatomy, we also know about the merkah, or the symbolic bull's tail that a pharaoh would attach to his back to symbolically be representative of the bull. We also learned that the jed pillar of Asar might not actually be a human vertebrae, but it may be parts of a bull's vertebrae. So I got so much of this that I really don't want to put out everything, and we got a debate on February 8th, but it's no way they'll be able to get out of this. So but lastly, the tomb of Ankh-Mahor, 6th dynasty, is where we find the first textual attestation to circumcision. And like I told y'all, if anybody want to pull up the Norman palette real quick, maybe I'll do it right now and show you that these guys getting murdered at the bottom are circumcised.
Okay, why should you do that? I see that the YouTube is going crazy. They're asking, we want the link, we want the link. They want to join in. You know what? I'm feeling generous right about now. I'm actually feeling generous. I'm actually going to post the link up for everybody to have, first come, first serve basis, up on the Talk with the Titans group page. So if you're not a member of the Talk with the Titans group page right now, click Talk with the Titans and press add. Okay, I'm going to wait for you. I'm going to give you a few more seconds. Then I'm going to post the link up right now for you to have. So we're going to count down in about 9 seconds. The link is going to be up. If you want to join in, just click it and you'll be live in the studios. And if you're watching in live as well, please keep your mics muted when you do join. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I'll have to eject you. So here we go. In the next few seconds, you'll be able to join us right now live in the studios. Here we go. It is posted. So if you want to join in, I see other Titans that have been on the show before is asking for the link, and some of them are just arriving right now. So I'll greet you lot. Welcome to the show. But it is our brother Jonathan. So Jonathan, carry on.
Yeah, peace. So if you guys can see my screen now.
Yes.
And if we observe that the fellow to the right, it appears, if you could actually ever see this closer, this is a circumcised victim right here. And you can find also this in Andrew Hunt Gordon's work. I think that was him who brought that forward. I don't want to act like this was one of my discoveries. And so this is, I mean, what can I say? But we find at least definitely the practice of circumcision in the tomb of Ankh-Mahor at the 6th dynasty. So, And
that's very interesting, because one of the very first historians, or the father of history, from the Western perspective, would be a character or a person by the name of Herodotus. Herodotus actually stated that the Egyptians or the Ethiopians were the first ones to actually introduce the rite of circumcision, and everybody else in Syria and so forth, is basically following or inherited that rite by the Ethiopians and Egyptians. Could you shed any more light on that?
Yeah, I would guess that will be true. If we deal with the time period of Herodotus, we're going to be with his contemporary dating to about 450 BC. We're going to see, first thing to note is the other people who promulgate a covenant of circumcision are never noted by Herodotus. He does not mention Israel. So how do you come from Greece, wind up in Egypt, and not ever be, you're the father of history, but you don't mention Israel? So some of the customs and traditions that they may promulgate that they were first to espouse, actually history doesn't attest to that. And as well as Herodotus' opinion on Egypt, we also have to realize that he too has the opinion of the 450 BC Egyptian. He says also in this text he could not secure certain information from priests of Egypt. He could not secure information about them now from any priest. So we would have to discuss that, like, well, what else wouldn't they tell him? If they wouldn't tell him about the now, a lot of his information comes from firsthand observation, but not he can't cite people who told him certain things. He just was so-called observing things.
Okay, okay. And there was, you know, there was actually a video that was up between Tazariak, Captain Tazariak, salute you. He's one of our Titans and Talk with the Titans group, and our brother Shaka Akmos going through circumcision. And they were complaining about, you know, grown men being circumcised. On that note, before we actually go into that, please, everybody, please subscribe to us right now. Our shows are on every Wednesdays, weekly Wednesdays. We usually start around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Times, but we do try to aim to start around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. So if you want to actually see our future shows with our brother Shaka Atmos next week, please press the subscribe button down below. Alternatively, just hit the subscribe button. Where are we? Right about here. There's the subscribe button. Just hit the subscribe button, and you could be up to date with our shows. So there was a video out with Tazariak and Shaka Atmos going at each other. So I would like to know, was Tazariak, you know, had a point with grown men? Why are grown men being circumcised? I know it's part of the Hebrew customs to circumcise their child at the age of 8 days old or so. So what is this custom of, you know, older men being circumcised? What's that about?
Well, actually, it was not explained in the text. I did a hard translation of the text, and they didn't say anything about the age of the people. So really, we're just assuming this again by looking at the iconography and seeing the height of these people. They could have been adolescents. Now we know you're supposed to, in their Jewish tradition or whatever, what have you, to pay respect to it. I think you're supposed to be circumcised, but 8 days or something, with something to that extent. But Moses was clearly a grown man. He must have lived completely uncircumcised in Egypt if there was no practice of circumcision in Egypt, correct? Didn't was it Abraham and his whole house or who got circumcised at grown men? How could Abraham was 99 when he met Yahweh? So I don't understand this. 99 years old, it says it right in the Bible when El Shaddai came to okay, great. Sorry about that. When El Shaddai came to Abraham, so you know what I mean? That contradicts the start of circumcision.
Indeed. You know what? I'm actually going to play that clip because that is a very interesting clip. And your video response to that was quite well done. So let me actually play that clip for everybody to see what we're talking about right now. Let me know, Jonathan, can you see that? Can you see the clip?
Yes, brother, I can see it.
Okay, we're going to play it live.
Madjai, vanguards of Kemet. Here's a photo Captain Tazariak, ISUPK, used to cite homosexuality in Kemet.
This is grown men playing with previously. Get a picture of that. This is grown men playing with previously on the Egyptian wall.
He really used like a cartoon or something. It's fake. Ain't no words on that. You see that? The primary is from Sakar, the tomb of Ankkhkakek, 6th dynasty. And we're going to go through that transliteration. It's for anybody to look it over, grab an Egyptological dictionary and look it up. ISUPK. You cannot read a book by its pictures. Ain't nobody told you that? Let me go to transliteration, and what you need to look for is that it's made for his praise, and it's the circumcision of the Ka priest. Circumcising the Ka priest. Here you see the definition from the Rebuts. Said, which is the root, which means to castrate. But we got sabet, which is a derivative, which means to circumcise. And you see it there, circumcising the Ka priest. Sabet, circumcision. Wow. Y'all gonna look stupid trying to run up on me, Pop. Straight up. We can see this 6th dynasty inscription attests to circumcision in Egypt before Abraham was conceptualized. Circumcision started in Kemet. Madjai, archer, arrows up.
There we go. Madjai, archers, arrows up. We love it. We absolutely love it, my brother. So, and I hear a lot of the brothers on the panel is really trying to emulate your Madjai, archers up. Could you give us that quick Madjai?
I kind of couldn't even do it right now because it becoming so from the heart. It's like a call. You feel me? You know what I mean? I probably couldn't do it right. And my mouth all dry, so they got to just start following my videos. As a matter of fact, my page is Smash Rockwell on YouTube if y'all want to know where y'all can get that information when I put it out. Primarily, if you don't know, I'm an MC as well, casual from hieroglyphics. And I normally use my YouTube page for musical stuff. But now being 40, I've been more into the scholarship than I have been into the artistry that supported me for such a long time. So Smash Rockwell on YouTube, y'all check that out.
All right, and don't forget, if you're loving this information and you want to hear more, just give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you like the information. And last but not least, please leave your comments down below. We love hearing your comments. We love hearing your feedback as well. Your feedback helps us to improve the show. So don't just, give us your big thumbs up for whatever you like. If you like the show, give us a big thumbs up. Whatever you don't like, just leave it down below. Leave your feedback down below so you can help us to improve the show. Also, leave your comments down below, on whatever Jonathan is saying right now. When you disagree or you agree, leave your comments down below. We love reading that. We love reading that. I know Titans, they go through your comments down below, and they also leave feedback. If you're not part of the Facebook community, they will leave feedback down below in your comments as well. So, yes, back to it, Jonathan. So, let us know about that video. Could you explain exactly what happened? I believe the brother Tazariak was, Captain Tazariak, was saying that it was grown men playing with each other. But you're showing...
and we all connected digitally in this so-called conscious community. When someone gets to putting out propaganda like that, he might have just been screaming it on his street corner and didn't think it would have the span it had, but actually it reached me in Oakland, California, and I took offense to it. That's just like that. I mean, because he was being kind of disingenuous. First of all, he used a cartoon, just like I pointed out in the video, a cartoon that did not address the text next to it. Now, when we get out here and start doing things like that, we open ourselves up, for our own scrutiny. And so he put the propensity in me to get to the bottom of it. I was like, well, here's a text we never translated. I can't find one online, so let me put in the time to try to bring forth an interpretation. And just like I suspected, the text next to the vignette, because the text next to the vignette always explains the accompanying portrait, so it was revealed right there. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. So when you read the text itself, because I know you can read the Medunita, it's a skill that a lot of people don't actually have. A lot of the brothers who are actually Hebrews don't actually have the luxury of being able to read the ancient Hebrew or the Hebrew itself. So when you was reading the text to cross-reference what was being said, like what was going through your mind? That's what I want to know.
When I was reading the text to cross-reference what was being said, what was the last thing you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what was being said? There was the claim that was grown men playing with themselves, but you actually went back and you looked at the primary evidence, the primary literature where that image was found, and you read the text accompanying it. What was your thoughts?
Oh, well, first of all, we need to understand the process of reading Medunetta so none can be fooled or beguiled about how it actually goes down. When you see these tourists in museums, I mean, not a museum, but maybe in a pyramid or something, and he's walking up like, oh, blah, blah, blah. A lot of the times they have that stuff memorized. And so, studying Medunetta, we know a lot, or you can identify and parse a lot of the terms, but just like in English, you may come to a certain term that you're not familiar with, and so you have to refer to your tools. It would be like this for a newcomer in Hebrew too. Just because you got down the sounds of the alphabet and you can sound out a word, don't mean you know the meaning of all these words. And so I came to the first time I ever heard the word for castrate. A lot of my peers, no one had brought that forward, and it's actually did I say castrate? Yeah, I was going to say not castrate, but circumcision. But it's all rooted in the term for that would be used for castrate or whatever, which was seb. But then some know to feminize or to maybe to soften or to show another form of this action. We added the feminine T at the end, which gave us sabet. And if we look up sabet, we also see a form of castration. And now this is me simply not taking this outside of the provided tools, Egyptological tools. But when we want to scrutinize a true root for sabet, I would possibly pass that over to a brother like Asar Imhotep and hit him up and be like, yo, I found this term and I need some cognizant African language in order to corroborate that this says what it says. You see what I'm saying? But really, generally me, if I find a match, I don't really feel like I need to fix anything that's not broken. It clearly read properly and told us what was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed, indeed. All right. So, our audience are actually asking questions right now, and I know I usually leave this out for the second part of the show, but I think it's quite important that we actually do ask this question. So they actually wanted to know, well, what I'm inferring from the question is, they wanted to know whether Abraham was circumcised before he left Kemet or after he left Kemet, according to the literature.
Abraham, before.
He was circumcised before he left Kemet.
Well, let's say that. His covenant was before, correct? His covenant was about the time of, Genesis 14:18? I'm just going off the top of the head. Y'all got computers. Say, yeah, he right. He pulled that out his head, or no, he's wrong. But it's around 14:18 when Melchizedek approaches him, and I don't think he hadn't had a covenant with God yet. And I don't think, was he exiting Kemet or was he entering? I might not be the scholar here on the panel who could qualify that, but I definitely can get you in the area of the Bible when he made this covenant about, I think 14:18 or something like that. And I got tools right in front of me. I'm sorry.
I believe he was exiting Kemet. So that was the point. He was exiting.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for offering that, because that's also a tool for me, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. Yo, I'm not one who front like super scholar. Just because I had a prowess to work myself through ancient Egyptian texts don't mean I read every one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's silly to think. Have you read every English book? Do you know every English term? And so that ain't even my high suit. My pursuit of knowledge just wound me up where I'm at. But I ain't gonna never be one to be like, I can't even learn from someone, all of you know.
And based on that question, I think our YouTube audience is trying to infer: did Abraham in fact actually learn that practice, that particular rite of circumcision from ancient Egypt, from Kemet itself, after leaving with?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
after leaving Egypt, being allotted so many presents and so many gifts in the essence or the sphere of maid servants and manservants. Obviously, these individuals that he left Kemet with as a gift must have been quite talented servants that he was given. So, did he learn that practice from his servants given to him by the Pharaoh? I believe that's the inference that they were trying to get at.
No, he didn't, because he didn't exist.
Wow.
You see, what we're doing is we're switching from primary documentation over to biblical mythology and trying to merge the two. And that's been the problem since Josephus, Eusebius of Caesarea, Julius Sextus Africanus. All of them was faced with the same Hebrew apologetic problem: to match up our creation story with the antiquity of Kemet. And so that's what everybody trying to do. But just to get back to the Bible verses I cited for clarity, 14:18 was when Melchizedek approached, what's the name? But it's 17 when he came to him and made the covenant. So the point I was trying to make was the covenant was actually made on his journey, but I did not, someone indicated that was out of Egypt. I thought it was the other way around, though.
Okay. Let me see. Hold on 1 second, because I know our panelists are just asking questions constantly, and it's hard to actually keep up. Somebody here has put forward, Herodotus considered all people of the area Phoenicians or the generally accepted Syria-Palestine, seeing how the Israelites used a Phoenician text. That is understandable. So I believe you're... Go ahead.
That does not include Israelites just because they consider them Phoenicians. What we're looking for him is consider someone an Israelite, and you know, yeah, because they were Phoenicians. But that he didn't consider them that. That's who was actually there when he got there. He didn't see nobody else called anything else.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
No, sorry, bro.
Go ahead.
It was actually Palestinians, if I'm correct. He made a distinction between, he said the land was Palestine, actually. And so we got some Palestine going all the way back to Pelesh or whatever coming from Medu Neter, but the name Israel, he couldn't find no kingdom.
Okay. And I'm gonna, since this show is dedicated to the Amun-Ra squad members, this show is dedicated to the Amun-Ra squad members. I'm actually going to invite some of my Amun-Ra squad members to actually give their input, if they're available to give their input. We have in the studios our brother Asar Imhotep. He's also the founder of the Madu Endele Institute and the author of Aluja, amongst various other books. So, brother Asar Imhotep, are you free to speak with us? Brother Imhotep may not be free to speak with us. So, are you free to speak with us, Brother Imhotep? I guess not. So, let's keep it moving. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the mic was muted, so I had to wait for it to unmute. But can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you well.
All right. Peace and blessings. Thank you for opening my mic and in the conversation that you're having now. This kind of came in a little later, so I wasn't there from the beginning to catch the whole conversation. But I'm listening. If you have any questions, I'm here.
Okay.
Excuse the dog in the background, Bar.
So, are you actually looking forward to this debate? That's what I want to know, actually. Are you looking forward to this debate? Have you been passing on any information to your team members to use in this debate?
I mean, it's just another debate to me. It's nothing really that grand, and this is just my honest opinion. Only because the issues that are being debated was only recently provided in terms of a list of what the actual so-called charges were, and so it kind of makes it hard to prepare for a debate when nobody knows exactly what is being debated. But now that that is on the table, I'm interested to see to what extent that the other side, or the Hebrew side, I should say, is going to organize their complaints, I should say, for lack of a better term, in the context of a court case. So I'm more interested in that, and to see what it is that they would come up with. As you already know, I was a former Hebrew Israelite. So unless the teachings have changed since the mid 90s, the fundamental essence or crux of how they're going to come is going to be kind of expected. And so I'll see if they've stepped up their scholastic game since the 90s, and hopefully they have. So I'm curious to see how this turns out. So that's my lot.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna send this out there to my Kemetic brothers. Listen, Kemetic brothers, do not sleep on the Hebrews. I don't know. Let me get comfortable. Do you remember what happened last time around when certain brothers were sleeping on the Hebrews. Nasi Yashuv-El dealt the biggest death blow to the Kemetic community. Please do not sleep on our brothers. Again, Tazaria, Captain Tazaria, it is arguably said that he also delivered an upset to the Kemetic community against our brother, young phenom Polite. Okay, this is hotly contended and debatable who won between that debate. But surely, if it was such a walkover for the Kemetic community, there would not be a question of who won that debate. So I'm gonna urge you, Kemetic community, our scholars from the African school of thought, do not sleep on the Hebrews. They have a well-oiled machine. They've got the Hebrew war machines. When you hear that lion roaring in the background, it sends shivers down my spine. You have brothers like Partner Nasi. Damn. You have brothers like Divine Prospects. Damn. You have brothers like Zion Lex. Damn. You have brothers like Nasi Yashuv-El. These brothers are problems. You lot are there just taking it like for a joke, like it's not even a problem. These brothers are a problem. Not even to mention AOC themselves, our brother Hashar. Listen, when Hashar speaks, everybody just quiet. When Hashar stands up, everybody sits down. These brothers are too much. I'm going to urge you, please, my brothers, just hold it down, humble yourselves, and prepare your minds for the greatest battle you're ever going to have in your life. Guaranteed. All right. With that being said,
can I say something?
Go ahead.
Can I say something in response?
Go ahead,
you know, I appreciate the nature as a person who, you know, is a businessman and business owner. I know the importance of marketing and appealing to the emotions, you know, to bring people to your product or service, and so, you know, I don't have any qualms, you know, with that aspect. But then I'm also, again, a social scientist, and so when we're dealing with scholarship, it's a totally different thing. And so I got to remind people that when we're talking about individuals who are in the camps that are involved specifically in this particular debate, that they have no scholars in their camp. And what do I mean by they have no scholars? They have no one in their camp that has published works that the world would cite to strengthen their own research arguments. There's no one there that has published, you know, any works along these lines. And so we got to understand there's a difference between the scholastic community and just some personal vendettas and beefs that they may have. It appears from the outside looking in. I can't verify this, but this is what it looks like. That the Hebrew Israelite community from New York specifically has a personal vendetta against Shaka Atmos and Polite. And they're trying to mask it and say the Kemetic community. However, when you're talking about the Kemetic community, you know, who are they talking about? This particular community actually has scholars, people who have written text, who have challenged European institutions, you know, on interpretations of history, who are building on a body of knowledge that exists all across the world, from the United States, from South America, the Caribbean, Africa, and in Europe. And so it's quite interesting that, you know, if they really had an issue with, you know, the issues of scholarship, none of the actual scholars who are producing this particular this body of work, individuals who have mastered 4 or 5 languages, you know, who read Hebrew, Arabic, and, you know, the Meta-Neture, as well as Sumerian and things of that nature, who have written on these texts, who have gotten degrees in philosophy in Egyptology, in things of that nature. They don't come to them. They have, again, it's a personal beef with Polite and what's his name, Shaka Atmos. And so, you know, we have to be careful about the marketing and then the reality, you know, saying of this. And so there's no challenge against the Kemetic community. It's just a challenge against, you know, a personal challenge against Polite and Shaka, because they have been going back and forth. And so I'm real skeptical along those lines. And so I hope I haven't taken up too much time.
All right, thank you for your insight. So that is Rabbi Simon Hotep's insight on that matter. Is not really a trouble for the Kemetic community. It's really a grievance between the Hebrews and one of our most prominent, or both of our most prominent teachers within inside of a particular community, House of Consciousness community. So, and that being said, I'm going to ask everybody who's listening in right now to share this message throughout. If you're on Facebook right now, share this to Facebook. If you're on Google Plus, share this to Google Plus. All the sharing links are just down below. Press the share button if you believe that somebody else would benefit and appreciate this information that we're going through, that we've been going through, and that we're about to go through. I can see our brother Jonathan. Brother Jonathan, I know you're there. You're ready for something that you're going to present to us as well. So please press the share button down below. Also, if you want to see more of our shows, press the subscribe button down below, or press the subscribe button right here. That's it right there where my face is. Just press the subscribe button. We have our brother Shaka Atmos coming into the studios tomorrow. Coming in next week, Wednesday. Our brother, our saber, our center himself, brother Shaka Atmos, will be in the studios next week, Wednesday, the 28th of January, before the grand date of February 8th. Our brother Shaka Atmos will be passing through the studios. We also have a range of Titans that we're passing through. We've got members from the ISUPK passing through next week. We have African scholars passing through as well, and scholars from the UK. I mean, literally worldwide. We've got scholars worldwide passing through. So if you want to see more of these great Titans, press the subscribe button down below, or just up here. Alternatively, or as well, please check out, once you press the subscribe button, just check out all of our past videos. You'll see in the playlist, just click on the playlist and you'll see all our past videos, from Dr. Ali Muhammad to Guerrilla Hebrew to Israel Doctrine to Divine Prospects to our brother and Senator Asaya Imhotep, to Zion Lex. We've got a whole host of Titans that's passed through the studios already. So if you want to see more of these Titans, press the subscribe button so you can check them out as well. I see that a lot of brothers and sisters have been hitting me up in my inbox, asking me, there's two major questions that they've been asking me. They want to know, how can we support the show? How can we donate or fund the show? I'm going to tell you this: I don't actually take any money from the audience at all. So there's no money that you can give to me to put on these shows. I'm doing these shows out of the labor of love. I love putting on these shows. No matter how much money and time and energy it takes out of me, I'm putting on these shows for you, the people out there. But if you do want to help and you do want to donate, I will ask you to donate your skills, donate your talents, donate your time and energy. If you see there's something about the show that you like and you think that you can improve it, whether you are a person in marketing, whether you're a person in media, know how to do edits or sounds or whatever the case may be, and you want to improve the show, just hit me up. Go to my channel, subscribe to Kalam, go to the channel, and in the About Us section, you will see my personal email. So if you want to help, please donate your time, donate some effort, and give back to the community with whatever skills that you can to help us improve the show. Or even if you have any thoughts how we can expand the show, let us know. Just go in there, and that's how you can donate to us as well. So also, if you go into our About Us section, it also tells you that we want to work with businesses, ethical businesses. So if you're an ethical business out there and you want us to promote you or support you, you know, hit me up on the email as well, and we'll also, you know, have that business relationship talking. If you still want to donate money to us, keep your money. We'll talk on a business level how you can, you know, start up a charity, or, you know, work with charities inside your community and donate to them, or, you know, whatever the case may be. We can come together as a community and help other brothers out who are in need as well. Yeah, that's it. So the second question that people actually have been asking me is, where do I get my African attire? They like the scarves, etc. I will leave a link down below of how to get in contact with my fashion designer. And I'll leave any clips. If you go onto my Facebook, I'll leave some clips there so you can see different styles that I've worn or he's produced for me. And if you want any, you can get in contact with him and buy it off him. All right. Enough of me talking again. I'm going to introduce our brother back in, our saber, our brother Jonathan. So, brother Jonathan, I know you have something ready for us again.
I have something. You there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually was thinking. Oh, you know what it was? I was adding to when Brother Asar spoke about them not having any scholars on their team. That actually, I agree. And I've been illustrating this, and as I can show you since last year. Let's go to this full screen. You guys can see my screen? If December 25th was not the day of the Nasi and Seti debate, you can clearly see I posted this on December 25th. It might have been a day after. And it was just stuff, embarrassing stuff from my brother Nasi Yashuv-El that he put forth at the debate. You can find this is called Nasi Yashuv-El and the Scholar's New Clothes. But the best way for me to explain it would simply be to read it to you real fast, if you don't mind. And we say, you all know the story of the Emperor's New Clothes, right? Well, if you look, well, if not, look it up after this. Let me give you a breakdown of Nasi Yashuv-El's lack of proficiency in this embarrassing 14-minute and 40-second video clip. It says the video starts with the clip of Nasi showing translations of something called Amen Walks the Garden in the Temple of Deir Badari. Remember Deir Badari, you guys. It says, error number 1. At 18 seconds of his presentation, Nasi begins by calling Hatshepsut Hatshepsut. Okay, I knew that was no biggie, but instantly I knew that I was in for a treat. I'm thinking, Hatshepsut, you had a debate and you hopping up talking about Hatshepsut? But anyway, I'm going to keep reading directly from the text. He reads Hatshepsut states, I planted God's trees next to Amen's temple, and I made for him a punt in his garden. It is big enough for him to walk around. Nasi's point, this won't be too long. Nasi's point of reading this translation was to ask, why is it okay when Egyptians say God can walk? It's an anthropomorphism when I say, and it's an anthropomorphism, but when I say it, it's an abomination, like God's a man. Nasi got a huge applause for making that silly point. Now, right there, that'll let you know the nature of the style of this debate. But let's go on, because it gets really funny. Area number 2, Seti asks, what book is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, Seti asks, what book is that out of? Nasi begins to berate Seti by saying, sunk relief. It don't have to be from a book. I know y'all remember that part. Sunk relief. What we have to learn is how to go to the original text, and that's what I'm showing you. Sunk relief. Now, if it is not clear to you now why Nasi Yashuv-El has already made a complete fool of himself, let me show you why. A sunk relief means the words are sunk into the relief. This sunk relief is a type of inscription popularized by the Amarna style art. It is not a reference number of any particular source material. This fool has sunk relief as his source. Now let me interject. That is just like saying my source is oil painting. My source is crayon. Or this is the way you record the inscription, not the source number. And I won't continue with the rest, but I just want to let you know you are not making mistakes like that if you are really a thorough scholar. You cited the inscription style as your source.
Okay, so So really and truly, Nasi is out of his league, because you're dealing with a bunch of scholars right here. I know Amun-Ra's squad prides themselves on scholarship. You're dealing with real scholars, scholars that have written peer-reviewed works, published books, etc. You know what? Madjai, that's that I've got to be calling you Madjai from now on. Madjai, you've also written a book, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and a lot of it's a lot of my public articles, but you know the articles are just like blogs, and so I don't put all the information in there in order to make my book worth something. But I also got my latest research over the past year. I didn't put out too many articles, and I'm placing them in my book. It is Madjai, a handbook for the conscious community, and it's actually coming out February 8th, over 270 pages of my analysis.
Just to interrupt you, I think I've got a clip from your channel, you know, introducing your book. So let me just play that clip real quickly.
Madjai, a handbook for the conscious community by Jonathan. Well-mannered repudiations against all the pseudoisms in the conscious community. Sources, attestations, primary evidence, coffin texts, pyramid texts, African translations. Madjai, everything you need to know is the handbook for the conscious community. Pre-order Madjai now and support the Madjai Research Fund. You need to bring the house down February 8th in New York at this debate. Madjai.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yes. So we have your book coming out on February the 8th, Madjai, the Handbook of the Conscious Community. Amun-Ra Ngongo. Big boy we're talking about right now. So, my brother, you have a book coming out. Not only a book, but a handbook for the conscious community. Let us know a bit about that.
Yeah, well, really, like I said, it's a collection of my articles plus all my latest, more pertinent research that I've done over the past year. And I told my brother Nasi personally, he inspired one of the greatest feats of my research in refuting his claims. After I unearthed the Paul Roberts rod, I started digging, and got to the root of these claims. And so that's like a greater portion of my book, one of the chapters that I'm most proud of. I think it's like a 50-page chapter on Kemetic sexuality, so it's pretty good, and a lot of that is my ammunition for the debate. So I'm not speed researching, I'm not over here doing that. Actually, I had a little dialogue with one of the debaters earlier today, good brother Zion Lex, and he seems well at heart, but he's facing adversity right now, and so he should stop trying to deal with me. If you want to deal with me first, simply go look over my work. He tried to clog me up saying, ask me, did I read Hebrew? Now, let's just be humble, my brother. You are the Hebrew, right? So I would say that you possibly can read Hebrew better than me. Well, in the same regard, I need the same respect when it comes to Medunetter. And if you don't give me the such, you're going to continue to play yourself, because just like he tried to cite some mistranslated his source on Abraham being brought out in the Bronze Age was mistranslated Medunetter that rendered the field of Abraham. But any of us who do this research, we already been disqualified that 1800s book by simply looking at the Medunetter and being like, that don't say no field of Abraham. But today, this morning, he brought that forth. Now he questioned and scrutinized my prowess on being able to read Hebrew. I never put forward that anywhere that I'm a Hebrew super scholar. You can clearly see my work, and I show the tools I use. Anyone can go open up Bible Hub. Matter of fact, I got tools I can just show you, okay? Things like this. This is for learning Hebrew. This is a book right here called Shador Shem Shalom, okay? A prayer book. Now, why would I have this just sitting around, bruh? This is, how about this? Haggadah. You know what this is, my good brother? But this is the book, brother, Zion Lex, that I told you I was in my garage just talking on the phone, and I couldn't go grab my study Torah, which is called Etz Hayim. When I asked you, I finally grabbed the book and asked you what does Etz Hayim mean, you did not know. You would never grab no Medu Netter book and ask me what the key word term that they used on the front mean. And I don't know, so he tried to flip it around. But this is some of the stuff I want to show the community that I didn't just go run out in 5 minutes after talking to him 30 minutes before this and buy these materials. It is the passion or our propensity to get to the bottom of some of this stuff that we might just be looking through. I'm sure they're studying Medu Netter right now. So I could say that if they got appropriate tools, they could possibly parse 1 or 2 terms. But there's a difference between Medu Netter and Hebrew. They have programs out where you can learn Hebrew almost in 10 to 30 days. I use Pimsleur Hebrew 101. Let me show these guys. These dudes are playing themselves. Like, come on, dog. Do you understand? This stuff costs money. Go see how much this costs, brother, my brother. And this comes with 32 reading lessons, as well as 31 lessons on CD. Where did I get all this stuff from? I am not coming out to defend myself against some erroneous claims of charlatanism. Like, please go qualify your argument by looking over my work, because you're going to look, it'll be a silly day on February 8th.
Woo! Hey, I'm losing my voice. Hey, listen, Jonathan's bringing the fire right now. Hey, Hebrew, stand up, man. Where you at, man? Hebrew Israelites out there, I know you're following me. Leave me your thoughts right now. I personally missed the sit down with Zion Lex on Sarnet's couch. He told me that he'll be going in Sarnet's couch today, but I missed the live streaming, so I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened, but it sounds like that Jonathan was tearing him a new one on Sarnet's couch.
Well, actually, he did a good chance in trying not to answer any of my questions, though, so I'm going to take the opportunity that you're giving me the floor and just bust him out as being a super pseudo-scholar. Now, let me show you something. He tried to bust me out and actually expose the extent of his research. Let me show you guys by sharing my screen. First and foremost, you guys are going to see on Sarnet TV that in scrutinizing my article, Shaddai, the Mother Goddess, an open letter to ISUPK, he said when he got all the way down to, so basically he didn't have no contention until he got all the way down. So I'm looking at it like this, like, oh, he ain't got nothing for me, right? He gets down to where I'm mentioning the city Shaddai and said I copied and pasted it off Wiki. But read this. Let's read this clearly. Shaddai was also an Amorite city called Tel Eth Tadim, the ruined site of the 2 breasts. Here is what Wikipedia says about Shaddai, the city. What is he? What type of scholar is this? I tell you that is what Wiki says about it. So why are you telling me that I quoted them when I told you I quoted them? But let me tell you something. See, this article is actually a longer chapter in my book, and I can show you that someone else is speaking on the source without revealing the source to you. But if you can see this book right here, what's the title of it? Ancient Israelite Faith and History. So he don't even know his own stuff. Page 177. Now I got to reveal my sources to you before my book drop because you want to steal some of my work. But let's read clearly. They say right here, Tel El. You see my cursor?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, yeah, it says this site already has distinct shape when it was occupied in the Bronze Age. Today, in Arabic, it is called Tel Eth Thali, literally, the ruined site of the 2 breasts. So I start to get enraged when I'm dealing with people who are trying to make me out to be someone who has not done the homework, and I could bust you out in 5 minutes. And so, yo, you was the one who stopped that Wiki. This is what happened. He found the same claim on Wiki, but it didn't have a citation. He did not go beyond that. He actually brought that back to the people like, oh, this is where he got it from. I'm like, oh, boy, you don't know what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, oh my gosh. And listen, the YouTube is going crazy right now. The viewers are just going up and skyrocketing. So if you're out there and you're watching this information and you believe that somebody else would enjoy this information that you're hearing right now, hit the share button, let everybody know. Our savior, our sinner, our brother Jonathan Owens is going live, the Madjai. This is literally the Armageddon. This is the final showdown. This is the battle before before the war. I don't think there's going to be another opportunity to hear this brother and the Amon-Ra squad go at it live on Talk with the Titans before the great debate. So please hit that share button right now. Let everybody know that we're live. We're live. Also, please hit the subscribe button right up here or down below to be up to date and follow our shows. Our shows are every single Wednesdays, and we've got our brother Shaka Atmos coming into the studios. If you want to see our past shows as well, click onto the playlist of Talk with the Titans. We have brother Shaka Atmos coming in. We have Dr. Ali as one of our past Titans. If you want to see his Lost Pages of Islam, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see Guerrilla Hebrew versus Polite the Aftermath, hit the subscribe button and view that as well. If you want to see Israel Doctrine going at Shaka Atmos Codex Game Over, hit the subscribe button as well. If you want to see our brother Divine Prospect, Zion Lex, the whole Hebrew War Machine, just hit the subscribe button and keep up to date with information. If you want to see Asar Tech breaking down the information, breaking down the linguistic information, how the African languages are intertwined with each other and intertwined with the Hebrew from the Yoruba perspective, please hit the subscribe button. This is a show that you do not want to miss. Okay, carry on now, my brother. Carry on.
Yeah, so, you know, honestly, it's not I'm coming to meet a lot of these good brothers who inspired me to do this research. You know, hopefully after the debate we can chill and pick a bar and go chop it up and do whatever. But while I'm on stage, it is what it is. You know, Madjai coming to defend the information about Kemet, you know what I'm saying? And you know the Madjai traditionally coming from Ta-Nehisi or the areas of Nubia, just like back in the day, employed sometimes as what would be mercenaries until they became a permanent force in Egypt. And then we'll find them at about, even when Egypt came out to set, Kemet came out to save Jerusalem at about 701 or what? Maybe 697 BC, we still see Madjai with the ostrich feather on captured by Sennacherib or Esarhaddon. I think it's Sennacherib. And it says clearly that we see Cushite warriors fighting for Jerusalem at that age. So honestly, the Madjai been a defense team for Kemet, and if the Pharaoh said, yo, let's roll out and go do this, that's what it was.
That's real talks right there. That's that. I believe that was during the sixth. Was that during the 6th century? With Jerusalem or the Judahites?
Yeah, it would have been around that time. Maybe 6th century. I think that happens. You're right. I think the closest time, the period that pops in my memory is 697 BC. So somebody Google that, and it lines up with Hezekiah, and it should be around about that time, 697 BC. Taharka, check it out.
That's it right there. So, you know, I want to play the actual trailer for today's show, because that actually kind of alludes to what we're talking about in terms of, you know, the whole Madjai coming to rescue the Hebrews, coming to rescue the Egyptians. So I'm going to play today's trailer. Today's trailer was brought to you by our marketing and branding manager, Wilson. So let me just play that quick trailer for everybody. And this is a scene out of Armageddon or Armageddon. Armageddon was an area in ancient times where a magnificent battle took place twice, actually, in the 15th century, where the Madjai came and helped out, and even in the 6th century, where the Madjai helped and came out and helped as well. So I'm just going to play this quick video clip, and we're going live.
Kamanu, oho, Madjai Ntenu. Madjai, what is your profession? Madjai, archer, arrows up. A well-organized lie to keep the disorganized truth every time.
Ooh-wee. Okay, there you go, the Madjai. Hey, listen, Madjai, that looks like you in your younger days, you know, with your hair.
You know what? Yeah, I did rock out like that. But honestly, it's an honor to even be adorned with such a name and for it to fit me so perfectly. When I took all my younger life, I was, so to speak, I'm built for this, basically. I'm walking right into the dungeon. I'm coming from across the nation. I'm hopping on a plane by myself, and I'm hooking up with my Zulu nation right before I walk right into the heart of the fire. So it's going to be what it's going to be. They better expect it. I'm coming, and I'm not, I'm going to do like, not Taharka? No, not Taharka. I'm going to do like, what's his name? My man Tariq Abin Zayed, who said, you know what, we burning the boats. As soon as they got over the Iberian Peninsula, he said, turn around, burn the boats. If we don't take this over, we die right here today. So they burnt the boats, and they went and took over Spain. I'm I might have to tear up my plane ticket and be like, check this out. I ain't going back till this is over. You know, so on the stage, rip my ticket up like it's going down tonight. But yeah, I'm hyped. I'm excited.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I might just fly over there, rip up my ticket, and say I ain't returning back. I'm staying
until we settle this.
No, we're going on a tour right now. We're going on a tour. We're gonna rip up our plane tickets. We're going on a tour. We're gonna present this information all across Harlem, all across New York, Staten Island, everywhere. Damn, Madjai, archers, arrows, up. Wow. Okay, everybody, just watch the trailer right now. Also, the music, if you like the music as well, that was by one of my closest friends. That was by Ataka Pasante. Ataka Pasante, members of SP Entertainment as well, was also produced that song. Okay, so if you like that song, please, just search YouTube Ataka Pasante as well. Wow, so the Madjai, Amun Ra Gongo. Damn. All right. So I'm going to open it up now. We've reached the latter part of the show. We've reached the second part of the show. So I'm going to open up to the audience members. We're supposed to have another Titan with us right now. I know our brother Ankh said he's going to be a bit late. And I know he must be trying to get in right now, but we are completely filled up. The panel is completely filled up. So if you're trying to get in, Ankh, right now, I have to apologize. I had to open up for our audience because this show wouldn't be anything if our audience did not participate. So fully, I'm sorry. The Titans, yeah, you will come first, but the audience, they come super first. All right. So audience members, if you've got any questions, please let them fire them off in the chat room or, in the YouTube chat room as well. And we'll be here to answer any questions. But right now, I'm going to open it up to our panel members. We've literally got about 15 minutes left of the show. So make your questions real quick and brief, and we'll get them answered. So I'm going to open up your mics. Just leave a message. Let me know that you want to speak. Okay. Where are we? Brother Alvin, you are about to be broadcast to everybody. Unmute your mic and ask your question, if you have any.
Yeah, to a certain extent, I agree with a lot of this stuff. I think sometimes when we go personal attacks, trying to discredit somebody as a scholar or something, it kind of can offset some of the information. But I want to make more of a point as far as when we talk about Herodotus. Herodotus lived in a time where the Israelites, if we want to call it a dark ages of the Israelites, I guess that would be it. They done got vanquished by the Assyrians. It's like they're kind of nobody. And this is a common misconception. Israel is huge to us now. But even when you read in the Bible, they're not like this huge, gigantic nation that everybody would be talking about, compared to Greek, Babylon or Egypt. It was just it was obscure. It's just that the religion has got so big now that sometimes we look at that ancient kingdom as bigger than what they really were back then. So now we look like, man, this person wasn't talking about them, this person wasn't talking about them, because back then on the world stage, they weren't that big.
You're right, and that's been my argument for a while. I've never been one to take away the history of the so-called Israelite, but when we start to specify things and we start to get specific, I'll be like, oh, no, it didn't actually go like that. It was just some people who bragged on themselves once they went into exile and was trying to promulgate themselves to the people who had them captured like they were some real big bosses. So they made up a lot of stories that were just exaggeration. So I don't never say that it don't exist completely. I just think it was exaggerated, grossly exaggerated by the Kohanim or the priest. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, I'm going to open it up now. They're going crazy in here, the chat box. I apologize if the chat box is not scrolling. That's something that I have no power over. That's something that you have to get up with, take it up with YouTube, because I don't know how to fix that. So I apologize for that if you're trying to get through via the chat room on YouTube. Jonathan, these Israelites are going in hard at you, you know. They're going in hard at you.
I would expect that they would, because that's the silly little rooting for my team behavior. But if any of you Hebrew Israelite scholars could step up, I have an account on debate.org. Last time I argued about the pre-Mosaic fathers, pre-Mosaic patriarchs being venerating the mother goddess, I got a forfeit. So my name is the Mr. Gog on there, and you can simply write out your contentions. We could do 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000 words, however you want to get it in.
Ooh, real scholarship. Real scholarship. So Jonathan, what are your thoughts? This is from, let me give the credit to where the credit is due, from Cedric Hooks. It says, what are your thoughts on astrotheology and syncretisms between the religions? What are your thoughts on astrotheology and syncretisms between the religions?
Astrotheology, let's break that down. Astro means the stars, correct? Theo is God. Ology is logic. Astrotheology, I mean, honestly, I know what it is for real, but I don't even entertain that. I don't get into star God logic, so to speak. And what was the second part of the question?
Syncretisms between the religions.
Well, synchronism between the Abrahamic faiths will sometimes be there if we address the text properly. I know some of the latter ones seem to take one brother or one sibling of this tradition away from the fold, but just same way that Judaism and Christianity are somewhat married, we also have the third member of the Abrahamic tradition somewhat married to it as well. And so I was not, and for the first part of the question, my brother, I did not mean to, that was just my answer. I don't deal with astrotheology. I don't deal with it. So if you have something that you can enlighten me, I'm open to hear about it.
Okay. And there's another question that's here. They saying here, who are the biblical Israelites of today? Who are the biblical Israelites of today?
Well, that would be a good question if only possible.
Sorry, one second. Let me give the credit to who that is coming from. So salute to you, our brother Yashuv-El. Yashuv-El, he asks, who are the biblical Israelites of today?
I could not say who the biblical Israelites are today, and those who are trying to say they can say who they are forced with a lot of, I mean, you know, it's a hard task. I mean, just to be wise, if the biblical Israelites in the time of the biblical allegories were a mixed multitude, then I would assume that they are still made up of a mixed multitude.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to keep on going at it by YouTube because we need our YouTube to, our audience on the YouTube to get their voices out. Okay. So there is quite a lot of going back and forth. I don't think there's any questions per se that I can ask you from them. It's a lot of back and forth on there. So I'm going to open it up now to our panelists to ask any questions you like to our brother Jonathan. So panelists, your mic is open. Just let me know who wants to speak first.
Can I make one comment, please, before they go in? I just wanted to, Brother Alvin, you Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just want to applaud you for that honest perspective you put forward about the information, because I never really heard nobody keep that. Like, it seemed like you're coming from a biblical scholar tradition. I mean, you know, that was an honest assessment, and I just wanted to ask. I didn't know where your allegiances lie. Like, is he telling the truth?
Nah, well, my thing is, as far as on the Kemetic side, if they go with the consensus argument amongst scholars, I don't really, you know, if that's what they're going with, I don't really make too much of hard arguments against that. I just be like, it is what it is, because, like you said, all that stuff goes through peer-reviewed literature. But when I start hearing these theories that go beyond peer-reviewed literature, and it's like, it just seems like it's Bible debunking, then I'm like, okay, well, where did you get that from? You know what I'm saying? And those are the arguments that, you know, that I kind of go at. Like, if somebody says, well, like what we was talking about the other day about whether it was King Omri or King Solomon that really had the wealth and prosperity of the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? That's something I'll talk about. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody was to tell me that, hey, the Bible lied and King Omri was the one that really built up the kingdom like that, then I disagree with them, of course, because I'm a believer in the Bible. But at the same time, it wouldn't be something that I would really harp too much on, considering it got peer-reviewed literature with that. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
Yeah. So I think a lot of emotions, and there's emotions on both sides. I mean, you know, not you know, even on the Kemetic side, you know, Shaka Polite, you know, you can see, you know, the emotions start getting into it, and it's on the Hebrew side too. And I think that's what really gets in the way of everything. And one thing I would say to my Israelite brothers is that when we have certain debates, we gotta separate the scholarship from the belief system. You know. Because, you know, I don't hide the fact, you know, I believe in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, and all of that stuff. I believe the Red Sea split and all that.
Alvin,
But,
Brother Alvin, I'm going to have to cut your wisdom real short because we're literally running out of time. We've literally got a few more minutes left of the show, and there's some questions coming in, and I want to get them out real quickly. So one of the first questions that we've got here is to Brother Jonathan. And it says here from one of our senators, Ankhkakek, please ask Jonathan about the great year being tied to the date of the pyramids being built. So do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I know a little bit about that, and we start to get out of my realm of, I wouldn't say expertise, but my specialty. When we walk into I wouldn't really want to call it New Age theory, but we're starting to deal with a lot of the material brought forward by John Anthony West and one of his comrades who basically said used. That's why he talked about. It might not be the same person who mentioned the astrotheology, but he basically used the lining up of the Sphinx with. I'm sorry, not the Sphinx, but the lining up of Leo in the sky is actually what I was talking about. The constellation Leo with with the three, with the direction of Horm action, and also the star system of Sirius, the three stars with the three pyramids of Cairo or whatever, or where. I don't even know actually which these three are aligned to, but I think that is what he is talking about directly. Like I said, though, my specialty, I don't really like to talk about stuff that I deal with Medunetta specifically, and like my brother Asar would tell you, I'm always in a dictionary of Medunetta, you know what I'm saying? And so really, when you want to start talking about astrotheology and stuff, I would defer you to Brother Reggie or one of my other peoples, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, and we have another question here from our brother called Christopher Baldwin. He's one of our avid, supporters. He asks, what do you think about Brother Divine's scholarship?
Brother Divine is cool. I'm going to answer that too, because I just want to clear up something that I was just saying. I don't want nobody to think that when we walking into these New Age theories, we still doing quote-unquote chemetology. When we start talking, well, they did understand the precession of the equinoxes, the great year, and all of this stuff, but we normally try to draw, at the Amarat Squad, we try to draw our information from primary text. And so if I can't draw nothing from that, I'm not going to be able to speak on it, because somebody could call me pseudo one day and be like, look, he said. And so I just wanted to clear that up while I didn't want to deal with the astrotheology stuff. That ain't my specialty. Now back to Brother Divine. He appears to, oh, you about to say something?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
He appears to be a genuine brother, and he's ready for knowledge. He reminds me of myself. He comes into our groups and tries to participate with, you know, to see what we got going on. I told my Nasi Yashuv-El himself I want to see their presentation on the 25th, because if they're going to try to attempt to do anything with the metal netter, they completely throw their case out of the door. They throw it right out the door. You see what I'm saying? Because you're trying to convict us of not being able to read it, and then you're going to go speed learn how to read it, because I got, you know what I'm saying, and then give us a trial by whoever your speed teachers are. So I think I like their intentions, but I know some people get greasy. But with Divine, I think he'll turn out to be a good scholar.
Great. So, have you got any last comments to leave us with before we close the show?
No, not too many. I just want to say thanks for the support to all my supporters. We got the Madjai GoFundMe, Madjai Research Fund at GoFundMe, and people been making it work, and I appreciate it. It's really like, you know what I'm saying, there's a way, it's like a spirit saying smash these dudes. It's really monetary support too, so it helps a lot. So that's something I can't never miss. All the people who kicked in, salute to you, you know, straight up.
Okay, so thank you, audience out there who's been supporting us. And again, if you want to support us and fund us, me, this show personally, I don't take any money from anybody. But if you are a business out there and you want to be supported or promoted on this platform, contact me via my email address. Also, if you want to support and fund this show, please donate some of your time, your effort, your energy, your talents. Just let me know whatever your talent is. Let me know what it is and how we can do something with that talent to better the show or do greater things in the future. Okay? And last but not least, February the 8th, Kemet on Trial. Kemet on Trial, Hebrew Israelites versus the Kemetic community. All right, so if you haven't got your tickets right now, you know what? Tickets are being sold out quick. You need to get this before anything happens. Buy your tickets from early. You can go and buy them on 2012 stores and purchase your online ticket. I believe it's something like $20 online, or if you want to go live and sit there, I think it's between $25 upwards. So please support our brothers and let's make something great happen for February the 8th. Also, if you want to actually be on the show, or you believe that you know somebody who has something great to contribute to the show in terms of scholarship, get in contact with me and we can hook that up. But this has we've actually reached the end of the show. We've reached the end of the show. We're going to have some debates. I'm going to have some more questions firing. If you're watching live right now, you can stay live watching and just type in the questions, and I'll let the audience, or should I say, I'll let our Titans answer them for you. But if you want to get in the studios right now, go onto the Facebook page and type in Talk with the Titans, and you have us there. You have the link to join us, okay? So you have the link on Talk with the Titans Facebook page. Thank you. So this has been Kalam, and this has been Talk with the Titans, and I'm signing out. Have a blessed day and night. Peace.